Ah, welcome, darlings, to another chilling chapter of Echoes of the Dark. I'm Violet Nocturne, your most willing guide to the places you'd rather avoid. Tonight, we unravel a tale that whispers of shadows, with appetites vast enough to consume even your courage. When the darkness calls, do you answer? Or will you too become its feast? They called her Lydia Kane, an artist with fingers that spun magic out of clay and paint. Her talent whispered of divine inspiration, and her popularity in the art world soared. But if one ventured close enough to peer behind her polite smile, there lay a deeper truth. Lydia had a secret. She wasn't inspired by muses of grandeur. Oh no, her creations weren't born from creativity. Instead, they stemmed from primal fear. You see, it started on her 9th birthday, the first time a shadow moved when it shouldn't have. A creeping wisp would slither across her walls at night, whispering just outside the reach of light. It would tell her its name was Umberlith, and it was hungry. Little Lydia, frightened, did as children do. She began to draw. She filled pages with jagged, frantic illustrations of her fears, offering them like tributes. And the shadow, oh, it relished her offerings. Over time, the whispers subsided, replaced by eerie silence. She thought she was free. But shadows don't forget, especially not ones with names. Years passed. Lydia's skills grew, and so did her name in the world of art, yet the shadow didn't return until the night of her first big gallery show. What a success it was, the patrons applauding her lifelike sculptures and vibrant paintings. That is, until she returned to her dim studio, laden with self-doubt. That's when Umberlith came calling again, slithering from a corner her eyes dared not meet. "I'm hungry," it crooned. Her hands trembled, but her artistic hands didn't falter. She quickly shaped a frantic sculpture, something jagged and chaotic to release her festering thoughts onto clay. When it was done, the shadow dissolved into the nearest wall. And so, a pact unspoken began. Months flowed like wine, each laced with creative bursts as Lydia's works grew bolder, darker, and, dare I say, hypnotic. Art collectors described her pieces as captivating, yet uneasily mesmerizing. Secretly, these works weren't born of passion, but necessity. Because Umberlith's voice began creeping into her days, demanding more. When she resisted, her eyesight dimmed. Her limbs quavered with phantom chills as if it might swallow her whole. Resistance wasn't an option. One day, the shadow grew ominously quiet. Fear simmered beneath Lydia's every brushstroke, imagining what silence might signify. And still, she continued feeding it, offering macabre sculptures and unsettling canvases. Her best critics praised her work, calling it haunting in the best way possible. Little did they know there was truth in their words. But, my dearest friends, here's where our little tale truly darkens. You see, Lydia soon started to notice something peculiar. Her pieces were disappearing. An exquisite portrait, a grotesque statuette, a detailed canvas, gone overnight. At first, she convinced herself it was careless misplacement. But the truth? Oh, it unveiled itself far too soon in ways she'd never imagined. Late one evening, just as she lit a single candle to fill the overwhelming dark of her studio, her phone rang. An unfamiliar curator on the other end said her newest work, Descent into Stillness, had been a most unfortunate piece. Unfortunate? She asked. The curator hesitated, then explained that the artwork had started to change on its own. An observer claimed she saw faint impressions upon the surface, shadows sprouting like vines. That night, Umberlith returned larger than she remembered, its gnawing black presence engulfing half her studio. "I've consumed your art," it murmured, "but it's not enough. I need your essence, your memories, your voice. Each piece, until you are hollow." Horrified, Lydia fell into a manic state, sacrificing work upon work to Umberlith, praying it would be sated. Yet with each passing offering, her ability waned. Brushstrokes grew erratic, her sculpting hands shook. Memory swirled, distorted like oil on water, and worst of all, the shadow's appetite expanded, threatening to drown her entirely. At last, she resolved to seek understanding. She visited a dusty antique store, the kind of place filled with forgotten things yearning to be remembered. The worn shopkeeper listened silently as Lydia unraveled her plight. Finally, she revealed a singular book etched with claw-marked glyphs. The Shadow's Hunger. The book warned of entities that devour creativity until one's being remains a hollow husk. Its countermeasure, it claimed, was a sacrificial relic, a creation so exquisite it would demand the Shadow's eternity. But the cost? It required the creator's life force, the final, ultimate price. Yet Lydia, desperate to escape Umberlith, accepted her fate. Weeks passed as Lydia shaped her magnum opus, a heart-wrenching piece known as The Empty Echo. The shadow hovered, feeding ever greedier around her dying form. The night she unveiled the creation, she slumped against her studio floor, pallid and motionless. With ravenous delight, Umberlith consumed The Empty Echo, and just as the book promised, was sealed within the work for eternity, if eternity held true. Now that artwork hangs in a forgotten gallery, admired but never touched. Patrons swear whispers caress their ears when no one watches, a faint murmuring that grows louder as night falls. So, my dear ones, I hope tonight's tale has splendidly tightened your grip on your fading courage. Beware the temptations of the dark. They always hunger for something, and bargains of necessity often devour more than they gift. Until next time, darlings, when we descend once more into the depths of the unknowable.